Yeah, let's talk about the USD, right? So I'm going to be looking at the DXY, the US dollar currency index. And well, you know that I am a US dollar trader. And well, if you didn't know the 96.70 level, this level right here, let me just thicken this one out, right? This level right here is super, super important on the DXY, right? Let me show you the 2 week chart. And if you notice, this level has been key pivotal since March, or well, since the beginning of 2015. And if we go even further back in historic price action, well, you can see that this level has also been pivotal, well, since the beginning of the 90s, right? So very, very, very strong level on DXY. This is the reason that I haven't really traded the USD this week, right? And the reason being because there is absolutely no edge on getting on a buy position just below that level. The last time that I traded the upside on the DXY, on the US dollar, right, was the break of this flag. And as you can see, it was a full fake out, and price just bounced back below that 96.70 levels. Now, having said that, on Friday, I was looking at this short-term flag, right, on the DXY. Now, the reason that I didn't took a buy here was because we were very, very close to the previous key level and the previous broken nose. So there was absolutely no edge on getting on a buy here on the US dollar. Now, having said that, Friday closed very, very bullish. If you look at the 4 hour chart, we can see a clean um, rejection of the weekly pivot, the previous key level, or the previous immediate pivotal level, and now the USD or the DXY is rallying. So next week, I'm looking for buys on the US dollar and buys only. And my plan is going to be a retest of the previous broken highs, right? So what I would like to see in order for me to get into a buy is a pullback towards those lows. And here, finding a high probability trade to go long on the US dollar. Of course, that I am not going to be buying the DXY. I'm going to be looking for the markets that I trade the US dollar on. And I will be looking for possible US dollar South African brand longs. Even though the South African brand is has been quite strong since well, since the highs that well, or the lows in this case it printed against the US dollar on November 2021. On the daily, looks quite good for a possible buy on US dollar strength. And the reason that I'm always looking for my place on the US dollar on these exotic markets is because if we have or if we get a big move or a strong move on the US dollar because of the weaker currencies that the US dollar is paired on this market, that move can be substantially bigger on, well, in these markets, right? So heads up to that possible long on the US dollar. I do not have a play on the downside on the USD, of course. I am bullish on the US dollar and trying to buy the dip only. Now, on the actional market analysis group, we are still very much riding those buys in gold from February 15. Actually, we're riding it from 2 weeks ago. Our first buy was here. We took profits all the way, right? And we bought again here. Now, geopolitically speaking, the tensions in Ukraine are um, making or pushing or triggering this rally in gold. Well, we already know that these kinds of incidents, geopolitically speaking, make for investors to move to less riskier investments and protect their equities. So they move funds or money moves to safe havens such as gold, right? That's why my view on U.S. equities is a little bearish at the moment. But I mean, I'm pointing this out because the first buy was technically um, took, right? Then we started adding buys because of the tensions in Ukraine. And if we look at the weekly chart in gold, what I dig about this is the last 2 week candles are extremely bullish, right? And a break and I mean, if the market opens, if gold opens higher, right, above the 1910 level or so, um, um, that would bring more bullish momentum, and we could see this market or this precious metal break with that key level that on the higher time frames would mean that gold, technically speaking, would be breaking with this long-term bullish flag on the weekly chart. So heads up to that. Just what I'm looking at for next week, right? Buys on the USD.